All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to G.W.R. Gonzo'S Wrestling Room. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
Pretty good. What's your name again?
Messed it up a little bit. But we're joined by a special guest, pro wrestler Justin Danger. How's it going tonight?
Pretty good. How about you guys?
Well, not too bad if I could just talk.
Yeah, I'm glad you said Justin because all on my mind today was it was going to be Jordan Danger. So
Jordan.
So I'm glad you said Justin. I looked up at the screen and seen Justin, so I probably would have called him Jordan. I don't know what that's all about. So we're both messed up.
Hey, it happens sometimes. I'll let you go ahead while I check the sounds and stuff real quick.
Justin, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. Can't complain.
Good. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. First of all, how long you been wrestling?
I've been in it for 22 years.
Where'd you get your start at?
Well, actually, I started in Marion, Indiana. EWF is where I started. I was there for probably 10 years every Saturday.
Is that who trained you?
Dusty Dillinger is the one that trained me. He's out of Lima, Ohio. He was trained through Al Snow's school.
Okay. I think you wrestled on a show that we did many years ago there at here in Muncie at the Ross Community Center. We did a few shows there.
Yeah.
And I'm almost positive. What was your name then?
Then probably just Justin.
Okay.
I think that's what you had said.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
We done one that was on a baseball field and done some that was inside the little gymnasium there as well.
Yeah.
What got you into pro wrestling?
Man, the way that I got it started was I went over to a friend's house to watch a WWE pay-per-view, and it was the Royal Rumble, and we watched the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian Dudley Boys in the TLC match.
Okay.
And we was just bullshitting around, and he goes, "Hey, man, I got a ring in my garage." I was like, "Nah, you don't." He's like, "No, come on out." Went out there. Sure enough, they had a ring set up. I got in there, and we played around for a second, went back inside. He told his stepdad, which was the promoter, and I didn't even know it, "Hey, he could actually wrestle. Like, he should try out." So I went, tried out the next Saturday, made it, and been doing it ever since.
Oh, that's crazy. Did you have a favorite wrestler growing up?
I had a few. Like, I was really into Shawn Michaels during his, like, the bad time of Shawn Michaels, I guess. Owen Hart was one of my favorites. Raven. I like the variety of different guys, really.
Hardest thing to learn in pro wrestling for you?
Hardest thing to learn in pro wrestling? To forget what you know naturally. Like, don't break your falls. You know, over exaggerate everything. Don't be nervous. That was one big thing.
Do you have a favorite wrestling move that other wrestlers do, and do you have a favorite wrestling move that you do?
Favorite move that a wrestler does? That's a good question. I always like the One-Winged Angel by Kenny Omega.
Yep.
I like that. And a move that I do is probably my finish, which is the backpack stunner.
See, we got
any wrestling moves that you dislike, like maybe taking, or just you think, hey man, that's just kind of a goofy move. I mean, why would anybody do that?
I thought the worm was one of the goofiest moves.
Yeah.
And I took it. Like, I wrestled Scotty 2 Hotty, and I took the worm, and I didn't like it, but I did it.
I wonder if that was on our show, because we had Scotty 2 Hotty.
Yeah, we did. You know if that was in Muncie or not?
No, that was in Marion.
Shows
Yeah.
here in Muncie.
Yeah. It was an outdoor show. Yeah.
Yep. Rob Glover said, damn, I can't talk. Rob Glover. I don't know what my problem is, but said, Justin Danger, I look up to you and appreciate all you've done for me in this business.
Hey, brother, it ain't no problem. You want to learn? I'll teach you all I know. 4 down, baby.
You got quite a few of the guys there from AACW. Jonathan Holiday. There's Chris Chaos.
Of course, Marcus Fine's on here.
Yeah, Marcus and Kelly.
One of the
Marcus Fine, what's up, man? Hey, CW locker room, how you guys doing?
Marcus said I seen Justin most of his career.
That's
yeah, and I hate to say this, but I didn't even realize how far back Marcus had been watching me because, to be honest, after a while, it's all like a blur. All the people are a blur. Like I'll recognize a few here and there. I thought I recognized Marcus and Kelly, but I wasn't sure. And then when I started talking to them, that's when I realized that, dang, they've been around watching me for 10, 12 years.
When's the first time we went to EWF? Probably it was in Converse, probably 2008, maybe 9,
maybe
7,
somewhere
8.
in there. Somewhere in there, because our son was probably 7, 8 years old. So yeah.
Somewhere in there. That's the first I just happened to see somehow EWF on the line or somehow. I don't even know how I seen it, to be honest with you.
I think you saw a flyer somewhere.
I think I seen a flyer somewhere, man. I don't know how I seen it, but anyway.
I remember driving there like, are we going to the right spot?
Yeah,
Going to Converse, and all we're seeing around us is cornfields, and we're like, are you sure we're going to the right spot for a wrestling show? We went to that building a couple times there in Converse.
Yeah, we did.
And then he started coming here to Muncie some.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now he's running Heroes and Legends.
Yes. Yeah, we've been to a couple of those. What do you love about the wrestling business, and also something that you dislike about the wrestling business?
I love entertaining the people, whether they hate me or they love me. I love that. That's what it is for me. Like, you can boo me all day long, and I'll go back with the biggest smile on my face. You know, it don't hurt my feelings, not one bit. And the thing that I dislike is the pain, man. After a while, it just wears on you.
Yeah, I mean, people don't realize. People, of course, use the word fake, which it's not fake.
Right.
The outcomes might be predetermined, but the stuff that goes on in the ring, the beating that your body takes, whether it's training or in the ring, that's not fake.
There's a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn to adapt to what you do.
I took 3 chops one night, and that was enough. I don't know how these guys do it every day, because I was bruised for about 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You learn to live with it and kind of love it at the same time.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get into that real quick. Marcus said people want to hear about the
fan issue
in Crawfordsville. What happened there?
And I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. Like, I went out to set up another match because they needed another match. So I was like, yeah, I'll go out and I'll set it up. Well, previous to that, I had a match with Kevin Panic. And I guess I riled the crowd up a little bit, and they didn't like me too well. So at the end of intermission, I got in the ring with a chair, and I demanded a fight because I wasn't done yet. Kevin wasn't enough. And as I'm waiting on Kevin to come out through the curtain, I catch a bigger guy standing next to the ring, and I stand up and I offer the challenge, and he accepted. He tried to slide in. I kicked him. He kept coming in, so I started hitting him, and got him in the ring. I got back, and finally somebody got him out, and everybody in the locker room didn't know what was going on. They thought I had a fan planted. And I was like, man, I don't do that stuff because of that reason right there. But yeah, it was a crazy incident.
Is that the first time you've ever had a fan try to come in the ring like that?
At me, yes. I've had a fan come in the ring at the opponent, and I've had people swing like on the other side of the guardrail. But I've never drawn somebody into the ring. And to be honest, it sounds bad, but it made me feel good because I know that I did my job that night. If I got that fan so mad that he really wanted to fight me, I did my job. So that's really all that mattered to me.
Yep. Kelly said the beatings you guys take hurts me too. And then Chris Chaos said, "Do you have any goals for this year?"
And my goal every year is to have more shows under my belt than the year before that. I just want to work new promotions, younger wrestlers I haven't seen in years. You know, just get my name back out there and see how far I can get out there this year.
Yeah, I'd love to see you maybe get with the ladies' man and maybe come to DCCW.
Right. Yeah, I'm willing to travel wherever they want me.
I think you'd be a perfect fit there. I'd like to see that. Christian
Cash said it still want Cash versus Danger.
I'd like to see that.
Hey, I'll take on anybody in the AACW locker room. That locker room's getting strong nowadays.
One thing that you would change about the wrestling business if you could?
The politics. Like just he's my friend, so let's give him this, and he can't work worth a shit, but you know, he's my buddy, so just that's always bothered me.
Do you see that? Do you see that a lot on the independent scene?
I see it at shows that I don't go to, and basically that's the reason why I don't go to them. But yeah, I see it quite a bit.
I think
it's just one of those things that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's kind of human nature. I mean, it happens in jobs, it happens in everyday life. It's something it's kind of hard to get away from.
And I think that's why it bothers me, because in everyday life it happens. I don't want it to happen in my, in my world.
You've been a professional wrestler, like you said, for about 22 years. So do you consider yourself kind of old school?
Well, I'm like a chameleon. I can blend in with basically any style, but yeah, old school is what I really enjoy.
Okay. I'm going to ask your opinion on something. I hope I don't piss anybody off, but if I do, I do. It's okay.
I knew this was coming.
I want to get a wrestler. I got Marcus's opinion. I mean, he's a huge fan. I want to get another wrestler's opinion, especially one that's been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
Something happened the other night at a match, and of course, I came in after I seen the video, and I was pissed off. I was pissed off. There was a match, and a wrestler picks up a guy over his head, and he's going to throw him over the ropes out into the crowd. But before he does, the referee sets him on fire. The referee sets him on fire. I was highly upset. I have no problem. If they want to use fire, I have no problem with that. Why don't you have a manager, a second, anybody else other than the referee?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I 100% agree with you. The referee should not be involved in that way. If the referee is involved, it's, in the match, not assisting like that with the match. That's like handing a guy a chair and letting him use it, and then, I didn't see that.
It's nothing against the talent that did it, because I don't know if I'm going to say his name, but he's a fantastic talent, one of the best in the Midwest. So it was just, I don't know if it was his idea. I don't know if it was the promoters. I mean, I know what they're going for. They're going for a big crowd reaction. I understand that.
It was just bad execution.
And I'm sure they got the big crowd reaction. They got what they wanted, but it just rubbed me the wrong way. It just really did.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I know exactly what I seen the same thing you saw, and yeah, that was my first thought is, why did the ref why was the ref the one setting the guy on fire that's in the match? Now, if it was a special guest referee, I might see that, like a turn of some sort.
But
But an every match referee, I didn't agree with it really.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
Just it don't make sense. It don't make sense. And I mean, that's a lot of pro wrestling is storytelling, and that it just don't make sense within the story.
Right.
People that you would like to work with that you haven't had the opportunity yet.
Man, to be honest, all the newer talent, I don't know any of these guys. I go to locker rooms and I might know one person. That's just because I'm either helping train or I've been to a training session and they was there. Like all these guys are all new to me, and I enjoy working with all of them because they all have different styles, and I can show them my style, like an old school style, a slower style, a storytelling style.
Did you get that question? Bob's question?
No.
I'm curious about that myself.
Rob Glover says, biggest prospect in your opinion, genuinely curious. Man, I can't talk tonight.
Man, there's a lot of guys that's really really starting to shine. And no, Rob, I'm not gonna say any names, but there's a handful at AACW that's gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go places and have a name for themselves. I go up to Michigan. The guys up there, I think Josh Morris was down this way. I don't know if you guys know who he is.
Yep.
Yeah, we've seen.
Yeah, he's actually been on the show before.
Yep.
And I don't know how long he's been working, but he really impressed me. I worked him up in Michigan. It just like I said, all the new guys seem to have their own thing. It's not my thing most of the time, but it works for them.
Do you wrestle up in Michigan quite a bit, or I mean, are you in Indiana, or have you been trying to travel more?
I try and travel now. Like there for a while, I was wrestling in let's see, Indiana, Tennessee, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, just like the surrounding states of Indiana. I was like hitting those every weekend. So I mean, I was trying to get out there, and at one point, I was working Friday, Saturday, and Sunday every weekend, like all year. So it was great, but
any promotions that you would like to work for that you've never worked for before? Any stand out?
None really stand out because all of them seem like they have their own thing, and really their own things like kind of attracting me to them. Yeah, I haven't reached out to a lot of them because I try and like see how they do stuff month to month or show to show and see how they actually work with their guys and stuff. I've actually enjoyed a lot, and I've actually found a few from you guys and Marcus Fine and all of them talking about the shows you guys go to. I started learning about them and getting in contact with them and stuff, trying to get over there. But yeah, I'm willing to travel anywhere and wrestle for any promotion, really. Just give them a try.
Favorite match that you've had? That may be tough because you've had a lot of them, and also maybe a favorite opponent. And if you got more than one match or more than one opponent, that's fine.
My favorite match, it just stands out to me because I looked up to him growing up watching him, was Raven. I wrestled him around the same, like right at the end of him and CM Punk in Ring of Honor when they had their feud. I had a match with him, and like that was the main time that I've ever been starstruck in the ring and just didn't know really what to do because it was Raven. And it was just the coolest thing to me. Favorite feud I had was probably either wrestling Jimmy Jacobs or there was a team called Team Zorn in EWF that I worked the whole team basically, and I enjoyed that.
Have you had the opportunity to work any other names besides Raven?
Oh yeah, dude. The one that I actually learned the most from was Coco Beware.
Oh, that'd be cool.
He told me that wrestling's 90% mental and vocal and 10% physical, because I was wanting to just throw myself around nonstop in the match, and he was like, no, we're not doing that. And then he told me that, and it all made sense that I can get more of a reaction using my voice than beating my body up, basically.
Yeah, we
And when I
went
beat my
to
body up, it's going to be because I'm pissing somebody off, calling them names or whatever. And then when I turn around and take a shot, they're on their feet cheering for the other guy. Then
we went to a
Seminar.
seminar with the Rock and Roll Express, and that's that's what they really harped on: working the crowd, facial expressions, vocal,
Slowing down.
and then they was the main event that night, and I mean, everything that they showed in the in the seminar, they worked to a T. They did very little, and the crowd reaction. I mean, these 300 or 400 people that was in attendance was going crazy, and they did very little. I mean, it was probably a 10, 11-minute match, but I mean, what they throw, maybe 2 punches.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
The biggest move might have been Ricky Morton giving a high knee or a knee lift. That'd be it.
Yeah,
and a drop.
Yeah, it was very very interesting. Fantasy opponent. If you could go back and wrestle, say, hey, Jordan, Justin. Sorry about that, Justin. You got a 10,000 seat arena. You can wrestle anybody you want. Main event. Who would it be?
Man, a fantasy would be Owen Hart, like hands down. It would have been Owen Hart.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah, one of the most underrated, I think.
Yeah, he was ahead of his time.
Oh yeah, he was. Best decision you've made in your wrestling career, and the worst decision that you've made in your wrestling career.
Best decision was to keep going after it. Like, just no pay, little pay, doesn't matter. It was the fans. The fans kept me going, and like that was my best decision of not letting the fans down, basically. I need to take these people for the 2 hours that they're away from home, and with their problems, now they have 2 hours of yelling at me or cheering me and forgetting their problems. And then after the show's over, it's back to the same old. But for them 2 hours, I get to change somebody's life almost. Let them forget about their problems. And the worst thing I did was probably let my personal life get basically involved with the wrestling. There for a little while, I would like skip some bookings and not be very good at shows, let's say. And that was probably my worst decision, is just to not separate the two, basically.
Best advice you've ever been given for as far as wrestling goes?
Probably from Coco. Is it's more vocal than physical, like action. That's what the fans will get. Is you can do a cool move, and they might remember that, but if I can go out there and really get you on my side or really get under your skin, you're going to remember that. You're going to remember that most of that match.
Yeah. I want to ask you this question. Since you've been doing it for so long, how much from the time you started to now, how much has the business changed, and what are the biggest changes you've seen? What's the major changes?
Oh, man. The biggest changes is honestly it's the athleticism of the wrestlers, the gymnastics of the wrestlers. Like before, it was just you go out there, you tell a solid story, and that's all we need. Now it's we go out there and we hit our cool moves, and that's all I need. I don't need to tell a story. Almost, it's one of those things that. But I mean, you could watch '80s wrestling and watch now wrestling, and you see the same thing. Like it's wrestling in general has changed like that.
Yeah.
How's the attitudes compared from 20 years ago to now? Is there much difference?
Actually, yeah, they're not as hard assed on people
Really?
now. It's more of a I'll help you out, you help me out kind of thing. Back then, it was more of don't take my spot, kid. You know, you haven't been in it long enough. You don't deserve nothing. Yada yada.
You ain't paid your
Now
dues
it's
yet.
yeah. Now it's kind of changed and it's kind of lightened up, and it's almost lightened up too much to where it's not. It's too many of people like, oh, it's my good friend. And he's a wrestler, but he's not really trained. You know, stuff like that. It just they're a little softer now.
So it's went from one extreme to the other a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can see it because I remember like when we were really going to independent shows a lot back around 2006, 7, 8, and then we kind of got away from it some because my son started was big in amateur wrestling, and so he's always traveling around going to tournaments. But then last couple of years we've been going to all these, well, year and a half, we've been going to all these independent shows now, and you can tell a big difference from what it was back then to now.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how many damn promotions we had in Indiana.
No. Yeah.
Until we started doing this about a year and a half ago. I was like, man, you fight wrestling every weekend if you want to go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're going to be next 2 months. We're going to be at shows almost every weekend.
Well,
some weekends, multiple shows,
2-3 shows. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to be busy. Working for different promotions. How much say do you have on the matches and that you're in? Does that change from promotion to promotion, from promotion to promotion, or is that pretty much the same?
Man, basically, I just whatever the promoter wants me to do, I do it. Like I'm basically like the Brooklyn Brawler almost. I'm there to help out. If you want to, put me in some kind of a story, that's cool. If you just need me to help put a guy over, or you just need another hand on the show, I'm that guy. It's just I'm easy to work with.
Yeah. Glenn said all these feds, you can fill a whole house with promotional posters.
There's a lot of federations now. There is. There really is.
There's, because we've been to quite a few, but there's still a bunch. There's still a lot we haven't even seen yet.
Yeah, and the ones we've been to, that's the thing I've been impressed with. All have been, like he said, they're a lot of different promotions, and they're different, and they're all good, but they're different styles. Like Word Pro, he's trying to tell stories. DCCW, they do like more bigger shows, bringing the names in. AACW, I think to me, it's kind of more old school. I love their fans, man. The fans are nuts there. I think they're the best fans in Indiana. That's my opinion. But everybody, and the other shows too we've been to, it's all different, put together different, but they're all good. We've only been to one place that wasn't good. We went there one time. Everybody was good to us, but we seen things just the way the promotion was ran, and we decided not to go back. So, and they're no longer around. So that speaks for itself. So,
right.
But yeah, we've been very fortunate and a lot of great wrestling. I wish more people would support independent wrestling, because for the money and for what you get for that price, especially if you got kids, got family to take, it's affordable. It's affordable, and you can't beat it.
Well, I mean, the guys that you see on TV right now, like 8 out of 10 of those people, they all came from the indies. The same people you watch on TV 10 years from now, you could be watching them right now in your hometown for $10 a ticket.
Yeah, that's very true.
Well, we saw Brian Danielson, John Moxley, and or both right before at an independent promotion here in Indiana. Well, Brian Danielson was the Saturday night before he was going to be on Raw on Monday.
Yeah, going back the second time.
When he was going back the second time,
and
then a couple months later was when Moxley showed up as Ambrose as part of the Shield.
Well, it was probably a little bit longer than that, but he went to Florida or NXT.
And see, with that, in the EWF, I was kind of spoiled because there were so many guys that would just pop in because we ran every Saturday night, no matter what. So, like, Alex Shelley came through, Petey Williams came through, Congo Kong was there for a little while, Sammy Callahan was there. Like, just so many names that are on TV right now came through there while I was there. And it was just, another Saturday night. We were just hanging out, wrestling each other in front of 30 people. And now they're on TV in front of thousands.
Yeah, that's the thing. Working with DCCW, we met the guys at WCWO, and they run every Friday night. And we've actually did some shows there. We have actually got to see their school and how they train people in action. Got to see it live in action, and they've had a lot of people over the years come through that place. MJF, Ruby Soho. There's many others too that's came through there. So when you run all the time and give people a place to train and get better. That's a huge advantage for any wrestler, like you said. I'm sure that was a huge advantage for you. Hold on a second.
Hey, damn dog, stop it. Scrappy, Pablo. Fucking Chihuahua's gonna tear shit up again.
That's what happens when danger's on the show. Yeah. Dangerous stuff happens everywhere.
I'm sure that was a huge advantage for you getting to work every Saturday.
Oh yeah, it's mind-boggling how much I learned compared to basically now, like training people. You might get in the ring once a month, or if you're lucky, 2 or 3 times a month. I was able to get in the ring twice a week during the week and on Saturdays before the show, and then have the show. So I was very fortunate in when I got trained, where I got trained, that I was able to get in the ring so much and perfect my craft, basically.
Yeah, and I know earlier Guns was asking you about who you see maybe coming up, and I know you didn't say any names, and I understand why. I'll say some names. I don't have a problem. I think Guns has got a bright future, and I also really like the Dirty Birds. But I will say this: I think they all 3 need more training. I mean, you got to get better trained, and the more experience, the more you can get in that ring. If you can find a place to go every Sunday, if you can find a place, some way to get the more training and as good as training as you can find. I mean, them guys could be really good, all 3 of them, and there's more there too at ACW. I'm not them out. There's others.
And I've told them guys, even though I can't get them in the ring as much as I would want to, I'm a message away to pick my brain. All you got to do is message me about anything about wrestling. I'm there. I'll train you that way. And then I'll get in the ring and I'll train you whenever it's available. Like, those guys, they've really came a long way since they started. Whenever I started coming around and seeing them, they've came a long way. And yeah, they still have a long way to go. But right now, they're on the right path of where they should be going.
Chris, we appreciate that.
Yeah, really do.
And then there was one. Oh, it's Glenn talking about how Crowley and Drake are a couple of people you see now, and you also see them on TV.
You're gonna, this may be Alice Crowley's year. It could very well be her year. She's very good, and I just seen where I read an article about Billy Starks. She's they're knocking on the door. All these places are, and she said, "I want to finish high school first." And she ain't even finished high school yet. They're all the promotions are knocking on her door. She's going to be a big star. Hope she goes to NXT.
And then Marcus said Maples had an awesome setup for training.
Yeah, like I said, dude, it was great to be able to go in on a Tuesday and Thursday at 5:00, practice with whoever shows up till about 7:30, show up on Saturday at noon, wrestle in the ring until 6:00 when the fans come in, have my match, and then go home and then do it all again the next week. Like it was.
Do you think that's might be one of the harder things for some of the new talent is finding places to be able to get training time in?
Yes, like everything's so like I said, dude, I was 10 minutes away from Jason's facility, so it was no problem for me to drive over there, walk over there, ride a bike over there. Whatever I need to do, I can get there. Nowadays, people are having to drive, couple of hours to go train for a couple of hours and then drive back a couple more hours. And a lot of people, they want to do it, but they just financially can't do it.
For guys out there, and I can tell you this from a prime example. Luke Savage and Dalton Love. They started at WCWO. They was working on a promotion here in Muncie. They started at WCWO probably a little over a year now, and working on Sundays. I don't know if they do the Tuesdays or not. I'm not sure because of work, but I know they do every Sunday. They wrestle about every Friday pretty much, and the experience that they've got and how much better these guys have got. Now they're wrestling everywhere. They're headlining shows. I mean, and they wasn't like they were bad before. I mean, they were doing well, but you can just tell a difference. And if you talk to either one of them, they're so thankful and grateful for that opportunity. And they're probably what, 50 miles away.
Yeah,
about 50 miles away. And the good thing about them, they can go together, carpool. So if you can get in that situation where you can get 3 or 4 people to carpool, that's definitely Dalton just won the championship at WCWO. So I mean, and like I said, they're getting booked all over the place. They've been to Colorado, they've been to Michigan, Ohio, Toledo. They've been everywhere.
Well, it's just about getting that ring time, and then like he was saying earlier, getting properly trained where you're not in there just doing stuff to be doing stuff. You're doing stuff for it to mean something.
Yep.
And then the ring time, I think, is the biggest though. The more with anything, the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it.
But I do know two real good schools. We had a gentleman on yesterday, Damian Michael Coe. He's got a place in Shelbyville. I don't know what they charge, and I think they train Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then, of course, WCWO, Tuesdays and Sundays, I believe. And then there's another one too, White River.
Yeah, White River Wrestling, Jake Oman.
Jake Oman, I'm sure you know Jake.
I don't want to lie, but I believe Congo Kong has a school in Bluffton also.
Yep. Yeah, he does.
I was going to say, you probably know Jake pretty well, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've worked Jake a few times. He started out basically around Maples area. I'm not going to say that he started out there, but he was there quite a bit, and we worked each other a few times.
Yeah, that's where we first saw him out, was on Maple shows, and then he actually done commentary with us earlier this year at a show.
Yeah, sure did.
But we got to see him run a training session one Sunday, man, and it was impressive.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
Toughest match. Toughest match that you've been in, and what I mean by that, like it could have been just physically, or it could have been where just things wasn't going right, like just things were falling apart. And also the easiest match you've been in, where just things were, hey, I mean, everything flowed right, everything went the way you wanted it to go. It was a great match, that type of thing.
Let's see. My most recent match that stands out is against Cody Lee. Everything just flowed right together. No issues. The end got messed up because of the ref, but the actual match was a real solid match, and everybody mentioned it. You know, everybody in the locker room commented on it, and it was real solid. The 6-man in Crawfordsville was probably one of the worst, just due to the fact that my mind wasn't in it because of the fan right before that match. I couldn't think. I didn't know what to do. I was green at that moment.
Got you out of your zone.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can understand that. I mean, when something like that happens that you're not expecting, it'd be hard to get back mentally focused on what you're set out to do.
Yeah.
This next question, you may not have one because you've been in the business so long, you've probably done all these, but any style of match that you haven't done yet that you would like to do?
I don't think so, but a match that I want to do again is a dog collar match. I really enjoy. I don't know why, but I just enjoy doing dog collar matches.
I love dog collar matches.
You got to see what one?
Last year.
Yeah,
I mean,
since,
live.
since we've been since we've been doing this, we've seen that one down south.
Trying to get Mike King and Joey Owens to do one, but I can't get them to do it. Do you have any? I know you're probably pretty busy, but do you have any hobbies?
Man, wrestling.
Just wrestling.
Yeah.
What about favorite food?
Favorite food? Probably a good old chicken breast.
Marcus said you stapled $1 to your head.
Yeah, I've had a few dollars stapled to my head.
And you're Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. You're four guys.
Personal favorites?
However you want to do it. If you was going,
I would say personal favorites. They're not even like, people say they're not even good at all, but I would say Owen Hart, Raven, Steve Corino, and Chris Candido.
I was a big Owen Hart fan.
Hart, Raven,
well.
Candido. Who's the other one?
Steve Corino.
Yeah, Corino.
Yeah, his son just signed with NXT.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that dude, but he just, I always liked him, whether he was heel or face. I just liked how he works. He's old school.
Yep. He's a trainer there in NXT.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Do you still watch a lot of wrestling on TV?
I started watching a little bit of the Raws and SmackDowns and some newer NXT, but I'm stuck in the damn 80s and 90s on wrestling still. I'm always watching older wrestling rather than new wrestling. I'll watch the pay-per-views, but other than that, you'll hear my TV on like Saturday night's main event right now. I mean,
I watch a lot of that too, but I watch it all. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it all, but I really enjoy the older stuff.
A lot more storytelling back then. So yeah,
and
I agree
that's
with
what I tell the guys that I'm trying to help train, I guess you could say, is watch older wrestling if you want to learn storytelling. Watch newer wrestling if you want to learn some moves. Like now, wrestling's about the moves. Back then, it was about telling a story and drawing you in that way.
Anybody that wants to know about stories,
and I still think that's the best. To me, that's the best way. That's when wrestling's at its best.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you guys old school. Marcus said you fit right in with me and him because we're old school. Anybody that wants to know about being able to do promos and how to do promos and talking, and also probably one of the greatest finishing moves of all time, and also telling stories. Check out that. Now you don't want to take the same path that he took, but check out that this past weekend, past Sunday night, they did the Jake Roberts story on A&E, and it was outstanding. But they showed so many of his promos and showed his DDT, and nobody can hit a DDT like Jake.
He never rose his voice when he did promos. He made you listen to him the whole time.
Yes, and they told the story. I think you walked in when he's telling the story about Vince and Ricky Steamboat wanted him to do the DDT out on cement to Steamboat, and he said, "No, I'll kill him." He said, "You can't do it." And he said, "No, I can protect myself." He said, "No, you cannot." And he said, "Not the way I do it. You can't protect." So he agreed. Okay, we'll do it, and he knocked him out. And he had a concussion. His face blew up. He tried to tell him, and they wouldn't listen to him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Jake is crazy, though.
yeah, Jake is crazy.
I've always been a Jake fan, but Jake a little crazy.
I guess he's actually started to work behind the scenes at AEW, which could be a positive if they would listen to him. If they listen to him,
I got that chance to sit out there and talk to him for a little bit that night.
Yeah, he got
actually at one. It was actually at a Maple show.
Yeah, he came to Muncie at a Maple show. Jake did, and Chris got the opportunity to talk to him for quite a while.
Yeah, I've worked a few shows with Jake on them. I worked two shows where Jake was bad, and then I worked 2 shows with him where Jake really turned himself around.
Iron Sheik be crazy. Yeah, Iron Sheik is crazy as well, Glenn.
They're getting ready to do an Iron Sheik one.
That's gonna be good.
I'm looking forward to the Iron Sheik one. But the Jake the Snake Roberts, it's sad. The story's sad that he went through and everything that happened, and how he's got 8 kids and 4 of them still won't have nothing to do with him, and 4 of them do. But I know he's real happy with the piece, and he thinks that it will help people, and he's thrilled that the WWE did it. So I've been reading some stuff that he's real happy with it. So.
Well, that's cool, because I know the first time they did that one on him, he wasn't very happy about.
Well,
it.
he pretty much it was pretty much him telling the story. So I mean, and got to talk. They even talked to some of the people to one of the daughters that really don't have much to do with him anymore. They even got her side. So it was really well done.
You got any matches or big matches coming up?
Actually, I'm in at the Beehive March 11th for what is it in G.W.R?
Yes.
And then the following weekend, I'm in Jackson, Michigan for AWE. And then I come to Kokomo on April 15th, I believe, is Kokomo's return show for AECW.
Yep.
So
we'll see on the 15th. We'll be at that show.
Right.
Billy Buzz Smith had a question. He heard that Jake the Snake wasn't into snakes. No, he hated. They talked about that. He hated snakes. He was scared to death of snakes. But of course, when Vince showed him the big check that he was going to be getting paid, he talked about that. He said that when they called him and said, "Hey, we want you to come to talk to us," and he said, "Okay," and he said, "We'll send a limo for you and a plane." He said, "No promoter's ever, paid for a flight for me or paid for anything like that." And he said, when I out there, and he told him about, "We want you to wear these pink tights with snakes on it and all this stuff." And he's like, "I don't want to do that." But then he showed him a check with all those zeros on it, and he's never seen so many zeros before. He said, "I became good with all of it." He said, "Now the snake part sucked because nobody took the snake. The snake stayed with him all the time." He said, "I'd go back to the hotel, have to throw the snake into the bathtub with water, hope that he didn't come out of the tub and break the toilets," which he did sometimes, broke the toilet, broke the sink, because them were massive snakes.
Oh, yeah.
But he wasn't originally a snake fan. But they did tell the story about him having that snake bite Macho Man and bit the crap out of him. And he was still cracking up about that. He's still laughing about that. How he said that snake got a hold of him and he couldn't get him to let go. Snake didn't want to let go, and he's still laughing about that.
You got any merch or a website where people can get your merch that you want to
Man,
plug?
I'm getting some Justin Danger t-shirts, some tumblers made. I should have some original hero keychains also, and I'll have all of them at the shows as of right now. I don't have anything set up anywhere for like online stuff or anything like that. But yeah, if I'm coming to a town near you, get a hold of me and let me know the shirt sizes, and I'll make sure that I got shirt sizes there for you and whoever else wants them and whatnot.
Do you have anything else, Dad?
No, I think I'm good to go. I appreciate you coming on with us.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me. It's been a blast, really. It has.
Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about that maybe we didn't touch?
Now, just to let everybody know to check you guys and Marcus Fine out on Monday nights. That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, man,
We appreciate it. It's been fun.
We're having a blast. I tell you, I never planned being a part of this. Chris started this with a couple other people, and then started the wrestling. I was just going to the shows with him as a fan, and then the other two guys kind of backed out on him and left him by himself. And it's been a perfect fit for me because I'm a huge wrestling fan. Just probably about as big as Marcus. Don't go to the shows as Marcus, but probably about as big as fan as Marcus is. And so we're probably going to hit 40 shows. We're not going to be like Marcus going to 70 or 80 shows. He'll probably go 70 or 80 this year. But yeah, I'm having a blast. It's a dream come through for me. So it having a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it's been fun. When I first started the sports stuff, I never thought it would turn into this, but it's been a blast.
And you got the sports stuff too.
And it's Mike King. Mike King gave us our first chance at
the
live stream one of his shows, and then he helped us get into other places.
He helped us. Well, the second show was AACW.
Yeah, that's how we got with AACW was Mike King.
Yeah, it was a Friday night. And Mike called him and said, "Hey, you want to go to Kokomo on Saturday and do a show?" And then, sure. So that's that was our second show. So.
That was a crazy show because that was a show we actually wrote. We actually rode there with Mike and Roger.
Yeah.
It was fun, but yeah, it was different.
Mike's a great dude, but you don't want to ride with him while he's driving because here's how it goes. He's got a video playing. He's driving, and you're just hoping that you make it to wherever you're going.
Yeah, he's watching the video and telling you the story about it.
Looking back at it. Driving. That's Mike. Not a better dude. Not a better dude.
No, he's a great dude, but yeah.
Yeah.
But you probably wrestled with him some back at GW.R? Was he there around the same time?
Yep, he was there. I've wrestled with Mike King a few times.
A lot of really good people come out of EWF.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I was grateful for my time there and having that promotion as my home promotion. And just everybody found out that we ran every Saturday, so they would just pop in. You never knew who was going to be there, but you always knew that there would be good matches.
You mentioned Jimmy Jacobs. That's another one that we seen there, and he went on to work for WWE. I think he's at Impact now. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he's there. But he was at WWE and he was unhappy and basically got fired on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, we appreciate you coming on. You're welcome to come back on anytime.
Anytime.
Like I said, I don't think we're going to be at a show you'll be at in March, but we'll for sure see you in April there at AACW.
Yep, definitely.
All right. I'll be glad to see you guys.
Hey, everybody, check out them shows. The NGW, we just went to one recently. Very good show. Check that out. I'm sure the show in Michigan is going to be very good, and I know AACW is going to deliver. So definitely check out those shows.
Yeah, AACW. Tell you what, of all the shows we've been to, they definitely probably have the craziest fans.
Yes.
Yeah. I like their crowd. Their crowd's real hot from start to finish.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, there was a couple times I thought a couple of them was going to swing at Mike King at that last show there in
he had him pretty
Kokomo.
He had him pretty upset.
They were holding him back and stuff, but that's pro wrestling though. Like you said earlier, if you can get if they're yelling at you like that, you're doing your job.
You want
Yeah.
a reaction. There's no such, you want either a good reaction or a bad reaction. There is no such a, really ain't a bad reaction. You want them to react.
Yep. A bad reaction is no reaction at all.
Yep. That's true.
Yep. We appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room and at the All Sports All Plays Network. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. That's where I post all the information about our shows. Actually, and also check out the new ASAP Network mobile app. If you're an Android customer, you can get it on at the Google Play Store. All of our shows go on there as well. So you just download it, hit the button, and all the shows will come up. They get put on, I think, like the next day. And then also you can find it on Roku and then also on Amazon. If you have a Fire Stick, go to apps, put in ASAP Network. You can find it on there. It'll be coming out for for iPhone users here real soon. So go check out that app. It's another way to catch all our content. And then we have another interview tomorrow. Pro wrestler Nick Diamond will be joining us at 6:30 tomorrow. So come join us for that. But I want to say a big thanks to Justin Danger for joining us tonight.
Definitely.
And we'll see everybody tomorrow night. Hope everybody has a great night.